Hello, everybody. I hope you're live. And if you're watching us, then do let us know. So, let me welcome you all to this second live on Baby Blessings with Nirali Shah, as promised before. And if you haven't checked out our first live, then do go check out in the Alchemy of Being Club, where we were talking about what this Baby Blessings is all about. So we were trying to understand this new concept that Nirali Shah has just launched, where the babies can be energetically supported and nurtured while in the womb. And just a minute, I'm just trying to share the link, and Nirali will be joining us very soon. So meanwhile, I hope you enjoy this music that's playing in the background. So in the last session, we were exploring how baby blessings has been an ancient practice and how this scientific evidence to how the baby is learning and is so aware right when in the womb. And it was so beautiful to understand concepts as Ralisha was revealing them, and how Dr. Brian Louise also was talking about this concept. And then she had mentioned some points on how this specific program has been the need of the hour. And I think I'm just trying to, go back and relive the session again because it was so powerful and magical. But, the more I talk about it, I would just say or invite you guys to go and look back and just go watch the video after this is done. And I think I'm just going to take a minute because my connection is unstable.
Hello, everybody. This is Nirali Shah. And as promised, we are live on YouTube. The name of this channel is Alchemy of Being, and its entire purpose is to add transmutation, the concepts of transmutation in people's life, to show people the need of why change, transformation, and transmutation is required in the present time, how it can be achieved, how it can be fun, how it can be, uh, to go for a thing to make your life way more easier. And here we have Sanjana. So hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Nirali. It was
Hi,
supposed to be
Sanjana.
the other way, but I think, thanks to the internet connection. But yeah, hi, Nirali.
So, where are we going today? I'm super excited.
Like we shared in the creative, today we're all about, knowing and learning the importance of baby blessings in the modern times. And before we get started, I would like to give a short and sweet introduction to you, because to all the new viewers, of course. So, Nirali Shah is an internationally certified healer and life mentor who has been in the field of transforming lives for almost 20 years now. And from my personal experience, I know that she keeps bringing new programs and she's always equipped with new tools to creatively transform people's lives and show that this change can be truly fun and welcoming for all of us, and precisely why her clients call her the alchemist of change. And with that, I think we should get started with today's session. So the topic is importance of baby blessings in the modern times. And I feel it would be great if we can start with the phrase modern times itself. So what is this modern times?
That's a great question. So, if I asked you the question, what is this modern times? What does the word modern times bring in your world? What all comes up for you?
It just tells me, in the here and the now is what just popped into my head right now. And with the here and the now, I see the hustle of, everyday life and how things are changing so fast for us, be it technology or be it our own lives. We just don't know when we are going to be in a lockdown or when we are going to be out in the streets. And we're basically trying to adapt to a lot of new things and new shifts that none of us had expected. We look back and, like, before it was a 60-year-old person who would look back and say to their grandchildren, "Arey bacha, aise hamare zamane mein tha." And we're here now, we just look back, and even I, at a very young age can say, but us time pe aise hota tha, which is quite funny.
True.
And I think that's modern times, this unpredictable thing. And
Right. So, let's say fast paced life, constant upgradation in technology, and constant need to upgradation in technology, constant upgradation in fashion industry, in if you see even in the film industry, like in the last 5 years, the kind of films that are coming out, and I'm being one of the filmmakers, is something that subconsciously I keep noting, the kind of films that people are coming out with now. All of that has changed, and COVID being one of the factors to push us to go out of boxes, to even bring so many things on a digital platform. So basically modern time is something where you're doing something uh, because the time is demanding for it, and you as an individual can be called modern when you go with that change. That's modern. So
hmm,
when you said the word here and now, that was so apt. What is required in this moment? That's modern. So if
right.
everybody is going to the work wearing jeans and maybe shirt, I might not want to wear a dhoti and go to
Hmm.
my workplace. I mean, that would be out of here and now.
Yeah.
So what is required? And even when we say and we call ourselves that we are moderns, and I would want to bring this up because modern is not just technology and how fast we are changing our phones, or how updated we are on our social medias, or how wonderfully we are able to post on our social media platforms, and how many likes that we get, or whether we are aware of the constant news of what's going on in the world. Modern time also means that we are living with the pace of where the world is going in
Hmm.
every aspect, and we sustain and
Hmm.
thrive in that moment.
That word just caught me, that thriving and sustaining. And with that, I would like to ask you, what is the significance of baby blessings? Like, all your programs that are always focused on the here and now, how is baby blessings actually adding in the present times, and what actually got you to come up with such a thing, or to bring out the tool called baby blessings to the world?
Yeah, that's a good connection that you just came up with. So you see, as I was already talking about, modern times means going in the pace of where the world
Hmm.
is going in every aspect. So when we
Hmm.
say, uh, digitally we are advanced, the way we, decor or create ambiences in our places and our offices, we are advanced, we are modern. The way we dress, we are modern. Are we, matching the pace of this coming generation? And
Well,
if at all, the the parents of the present time find it that no, that's somewhere, we are slowing down, or somewhere we do feel the gap, like, how you just in a one sentence share that, I too sometimes get off, I too say to my siblings or my cousins that I was in my times. So, it's just a little generation gap, but modern times, in present time, the generation gap is, you know moving even faster. So anything that was, like, considered generation gap for like 10 years, it has gone down to 5 years or even lesser. It's just going fast. And I'm going to show you a really cute video to what this generation is like. I had
okay.
some real insightful, wonderful person share it with me yesterday, and I'm going to make full use of that video. So let's try and see what this modern time is,
Hmm.
and what is this generation that you are dealing with, to actually come to the answer of your question, that why baby blessing in the modern time is required. Though the word blessing is, it feels like a religious or a ancient word. Why? It's the combination
Hmm.
of modern and ancient. So let's try and let's see. And I hope my connection is gonna help me, share this with you uninterrupted. So let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah, it's audible.
मुझे घर नहीं जाना। Excuse me? You excuse me, आप मेरे फ्यूचर के साथ खेल रहे हो। कितने बैकवर्ड है लोग। वाईफाई छोड़ो, इंटरनेट कनेक्शन तक नहीं है इनके घर पे। अरे इनके घर लैपटॉप या कंप्यूटर नहीं है तो इंटरनेट तीन स्मार्टफोन है घर पे। क्या दुआओं के घर से है? और उस पे है ना मोबाइल कनेक्शन। हाँ, 3 दिन करने के लिए चप्पड़ फाड़ के दिया है ना आपने। फिर किसी अंबानी के घर पे ही मुझको लेके प्रेग्नेंट करवा देते हैं। मम्मी को लेट हो रहा है, तुम अभी जाओ। नो वाईफाई, नो गो।
I hope you were able to, kind of enjoy this conversation between the baby and the God. And at all, you would like to watch the entire video that's available on YouTube. But, this is the fast paced generation that we are talking about, we are dealing with as parents. And however happy we are, in the time when, babies to be arriving in our house, in our family, preparing with all the photo shoot and beautiful pics, and baby shower and gifting and all of that. um, we're forgetting that, what this generation is about, and are we prepared, are we readying ourselves to, match this space. Like, they're really, they're going to, go against you, they're going to challenge you. This child, like, he has
See
the
that.
guts to challenge the god, excuse me. And he's like, he's just come back from the mom's womb. He's like, I'm not going there, they don't have internet. So I'm not saying him in any way, and not, that, uh, you know uh, that you should have
That's just,
wi-fi. But,
yeah. It's very
but
metaphorical.
yes, but the point is that, and, even when I'm talking about this, I know that there are so many parents who already aware that this generation is fast, this generation is very active, this generation is beyond our speed. And there are many parents who do find it, even before the child is arriving in the family, they do do have doubts whether they're going to be able to be good parents, or whether they're going to grow these child into you know the person that he or she is meant to do, or give her or give him all the nutrients in every way, like physically, mentally, emotionally, the love that it requires, the education that it requires. And we start preparing at that stage, that
Hmm.
how much finances I'm going to require, what kind of books I should read during the pregnancy, what kind of questions I should be asking to the doctor during this period, their emotional, we read all of those things. We uh, uh, even prepare the room and the clothing and everything for welcoming this baby. And this is something that we have seen our parents do in their ways, in whatever traditions and trends work for them. And our parents saw their parents do the same.
Hmm.
But there's something that we haven't seen is preparing, and most of us haven't seen. I'm not rejecting the
Hmm.
idea that everyone is not seen, but most of us hasn't seen, like it's not a trend to prepare ourselves and the child to uh, emotionally, mentally, on the spirit level, uh, give each other that strength, so that when they're finally here, uh, we are bonding with love, we are bonding with um, uh, not struggle to be the parent and the child, or to be the family, but rather in harmony. And when I'm using these words, it may feel like too dreamy, or like big words, but ultimately that is the entire reason why even we want the baby in our world, so that it brings the joy, it brings it fills the gap, it adds something in our world. That is the core idea of even expanding as family. But
Yeah.
we get so entangled in the present time. And coming back to your question of modern world and baby blessing, the present time, all the dreams that we have as parents, and all the dream that child may come with, as to be part of this family, the moment we connect to the present time, everything dissipates, everything begins to vanish, and we see bhai aayi ki nahi, the job responsibilities at the workplace. Because in the present moment, in the present days, mothers are working, and they are working till the end. Their mothers are handling, because of nuclear families, or with many situational hazards, mothers are dealing with family life, not just own family and own health, and own society and work relationship. She's also handling family on the mother's side, on the husband's side. Now, with all of these chaos, where do you have mothers have time for themselves to really,
Hmm.
really, really, care for themselves, or nurture themselves, to even care for their own health?
I.
And where in the world do they have that quality time that the child truly requires in the early
Hmm.
ages? The dream that they have, that I'm going to give
This
my
is.
child love this in this manner and that manner. But there are instances where child is born, and mothers are in a depressive state post pregnancy. This is one of the common
Hmm.
complication any mother feels in the present days. That is something that perhaps our mothers did not, or their mothers did not. It was so normal for them ki third or fourth day of delivery they would be back to the work. But
Yeah.
in the present days, because of the way the present time is, we are losing touch with ourselves. We are uh, the more we are moving away from who we are, and becoming, trying to mend things of life. we are also bringing these kind of psychological, psychosomatic,
Hmm.
health related issues which perhaps did not exist in the previous times, or in our parents worlds, or in their parents worlds. Maybe
Right.
they
And
had different issues, no doubt about that, but that, yeah, you want to ask something.
yeah, like, as you were telling about a lot of things, there were several questions just came into my mind. So one of the first thing is, like, when we have sessions with you, since I have been doing a lot of programs, and I realize, like every session that I come to you, you keep telling me, how, being true to our being is something that you just mentioned. And I find myself that, in that place, like, as I go forward in life, even though everybody around me is trying to give me the best life according to their own perspective, I still find myself stuck. I mean, I feel like I don't belong to all the structures that are being put. And in the process, what's happening is every time you ask me, who am I don't know who am I. I'm always constantly fighting and, trying to remove the layers of conditioning. And so, how is it actually helping? Like, this process is being reduced if, we're starting early, like the article that you mentioned. Why
Yes.
start early?
So,
Why start now?
you so beautifully brought back the point that, I was about to connect to, from, a child's perspective, that, how much, as when you grow as a teenager, as a young adult, how much learn that is not you
Hmm.
from your surrounding, and then you have to ultimately end up unlearning all of that, uh, after so many experiences, going through some, failures, or some suffering, some pain, some health related issues, and then come back to the place. And today's generation, if I talk about you, or somebody who's probably even younger coming to me for the
Hmm.
sessions, this generation is all about who I am. Most of them are, they will move away from anything, after, no doubt, if they get right guidance at the right time, they'll continue to move in the right direction. But if they don't, maybe, after a certain exploration, after having lost themselves in the way, they somewhere come back to who I am. But, and am I being
Hmm.
fake? Am I pretending? Or do I need to find something? So, see, very potent, capable, bright, beautiful, generation is what I see, is coming, has been coming in the last couple of years. And the ones that are coming, and I can actually feel, I can actually sense them, like, they're even brighter beings, who require a totally different kind of an atmosphere. And we being parents, because we are accustomed to the this life, and trying to make amends with all of that, how to match their requirement. And we being us as parents, you know uh, co-creating as family. Otherwise, what
Right.
happens is that we constantly struggling to adjust with each other. Like, at the age of 4 or 5, they have different demands, and parents are like, we got to control you. And then the child goes into another trauma. Every child is different. And in all of that, somewhere as parents, you begin to feel that frustration ki yaar, what am I doing? Am I being a good parent? Is it my mistake? That layering of guilt that comes in, from it adds into child worlds also, that am I being a good child? And it also adds in the
Hmm.
parents world. But where are we releasing these areas? Where are we releasing
Hmm.
these emotions of guilt, and actually coming to co-create, actually come into a harmonious
Right.
connection, where each one has their place, each one knows where they are, each one has
Right.
their own place to grow as individual. Many times, when I was just going to this thread, I also saw that many parents, the moment they become parents, they're like, now it's the child who's supposed to go, and we have to focus everything on my child. But as mothers or even as parents, when you stop growing, the child's growth stops too. Unless when the
Hmm.
child grows up and chooses a different idea, that no, I'm going to choose something different than what my parents are choosing at this point. But if you as parents, when you get stuck into something, your child is going to get stuck. So
Hmm.
many times when people come to me for sessions, what we are doing is that we are releasing something that a child picked up from the parents where they were stuck. We are releasing those energies, those belief systems, those emotions, and helping them to come back to their confident selves, or better communication, or stop creating that repeated pattern of bad relationships, or whatever that is. Now, this is all something that we are doing, and this support is always available from my end. We are doing it when things have already occurred, we have already grown.
Hmm.
But my idea of bringing baby blessing is to create a preventive action. And I would
Right.
so want to emphasize, and I'm all about preventive, where we
Hmm.
don't have to go through that level of suffering, or that level of you know wrong u-turns, if you take one right
Right.
step at the right time. And
And
if
it
we are
as I
aware,
hmm like
we can
as I
actually do
yeah,
that.
the way I see it's actually saving a lot of time and resources also. And over
Finances
here,
also.
yeah, and I would like to just give a pause and ask. I mean, I'm going to the second part where the title reads Baby Blessings for Moms. And that's where we also stopped in the first live, and how the mother is playing a significant role, or how these baby blessings are actually helping the moms. Because you were mentioning that mothers go through a lot of issues during pregnancy, and you also mentioned that every person has their place. So how important is it, the mother playing in the role in the child's
How
development and for herself?
correct. I would add one thing is that how mother is supported in this,
Yeah.
with this baby blessing
Hmm.
program, so that they, they become the nurturers and the mothers that they uh, require to be for their child.
Right.
So see, there's so many things that I would like to talk about, but let's take one thing. And for that, I want to share, or rather, let's do one thing. Let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
Imagine,
Hmm.
and I want anybody who's watching this video at this point, I want you to visualize this as well. uh, if you are the child who's coming to this world, okay, and you're very excited, you're so excited to be part of this family, and you're wondering how your life is going to be like, when you'll open your eyes, and the first few years with your parents. Now, you have all these dreams, the parents have all these dreams, and when you arrive, when you're conceived, when you are growing your organs, in all of those moments, you are uh, your parents have moments to communicate with you. They are relaxed, they have space and time for you, they share their loving thoughts towards you. They're not panicky uh, while handling the life situation, because something that we discussed in the previous video is that child is aware of everything that is
Hmm.
happening right in the womb, everything happening to the mother in the womb. So, mother is more relaxed, and she's handling everything with more strength rather than anxiety, or not feeling depressed, or not cursing herself and her body for, feeling stuck because of the pregnancy related complications, or because of, um, family related any complications. She is in a place, she's confident, she is happy. What is the space that is created for you, and how much love and welcome would you feel in that moment?
You asking this itself is bringing so much happiness and lightness in, like you said, if I'm connected to the mother, and if the mother feels tense, then definitely I would feel it. And if the mother is feeling happy, then I would definitely share that. And this is an atmosphere which any child, and if I'm especially in that place, is something I would love to have. I mean, that's such a grand and such a great welcome into the world.
Great welcome, right? That's actually celebration, like.
Yeah.
And now let's, visualize another scenario where you want to be part of a family, you're so excited, but mother is not confident whether, she's going to raise you well, or she's constantly dealing with so many, difficult situation, and she has no time for you. Or
Hmm.
she's confused in the moment, or she's going through all these complications, and she's not feeling happy inside. How would you feel as a child?
Just relating to the video, and right on the lighter note, I would want to run away, because as it is, the world that I would be entering to is so uncertain and new. And on top of it, like, I know that my parents would be my soul and first supports, first teachers. And if they are uncertain, because as I grow up, also, when I see that I'm trusting somebody, even if I have to join a course or something, and the person is confused, I'm literally giving the stakes of my life in their hands and expecting that they would be good guides to me. And when I know that's lacking, I wouldn't want to take the first steps, or I would just enter with a huge question mark.
Yeah, and this is where the first frustration as a child begins in your world.
I mean,
This
true.
is where a lot of doubts, the lack of confidence, all of this begins at this place, because how you were welcomed,
Hmm.
while you were in the home, or while your first few years with your parents. Now in the present time, coming back, because this topic is about modern
Hmm.
times, present time. However much parents wants to give this, the first visualization that we did to their child, like they really want to, we all know that the way the world is and things are going, the life that we have for ourselves, we are going to meet these difficulties, we are going to be meeting those stressful situations, just for starting from our home to our workplace, we are going to meet about 10 different certain situations where we are going to be stressed about it. Or because something, there is some technical issue, or because COVID is coming, so many things are going on where we got to look at so many things, where we can be in this place to welcome the child, but we still want to do
Hmm.
that. Baby blessing is one of those tool that fills in the gap. It really takes you in that place, if any parent who's aware and who gets what I'm talking at this point, and would really want to, if like my parents did this for me, I would be a totally different. If you feel that feeling when I ask you that question, then would you want to do that for your child? Because every
Of
parent
course.
ultimately feels that what I suffered, I don't want my child to suffer.
Yeah.
But if you get this, you know then baby blessing is going to fill this gap. And the word I love,
Hmm.
blessing, because blessing, though it feels, and it is given a very religious spiritual feeling, it has a very powerful impact. Like a long back, I did a post on my Insta or Facebook, I don't remember, where I mentioned how just sending those positive loving words
Hmm.
mentally to your child instead of nagging the child, because the child is not listening to you for studying or tidying up the room. If you share those positive words, how impactful it becomes for the child, and how it really has a positive impact
Yeah,
in his or her action.
true.
But
And
baby blessing is going to encompass so many things, and we are going to be doing
hmm,
the third live specifically devoted to this topic, that what all it will cover.
right.
But right now, just to even allow yourself to help yourself to sink this idea in, that this program is meant to fill that gap which feels lacking in the present world, in the modern world. That even
Right.
if I wish to do it, where would I, where will I find that place? My
Hmm.
thoughts are running so fast. I'm constantly, I have not slept for so many days. I have so many complications. I'm constantly worried for my child, whether,
Hmm.
we're going to go through this phase or not. Where am I going to send loving thoughts? But slowly and gradually, this program is going to support that part of you as mothers. And I also want to add that even fathers can be part of it. It becomes the baby blessing process even more powerful. But then it's totally individual family choice, but father can totally support the moms to be, because that's very important, because she is the first environment for the baby,
True.
mentally, emotionally, as what she is in her spirits, what she is in her belief system, what she is in her environment, how she's dealing with every situation in front of her, including her own self, her own thoughts, her own complexities. All of that
True.
adds to the child's world.
And I think somewhere, just the awareness of this is going to add so much into the world of people, because like the complications that you've mentioned, or, I keep going through these random posts where, excuse me, like people are talking a lot about celebration, but there's less very less number of people who actually come out and even share, because there's so much guilt involved. Like one example, and I can say it's a brave move by Tahira Kashyap, Khurana's wife, who actually shares this in one of her books, that once the baby was born, and everybody, the family is super happy to carry the child, and when she was given the child, she didn't even feel that bond towards the baby. And so that thing, and then here are the ads which go, where the mother is saying, the modern woman, that I can handle my baby, my career, and my personal life, like all the household activities, I can do it very well. So this thing that many people, they are, as much as they're glorifying, they're not acknowledging that so much goes in on their words, and even to just say that this is what I feel is
Yeah,
something that's missing in our words.
yeah, yeah. And like many, and it's so, see how as a mother, my heart will sing if I have to tell someone that I don't feel anything for my baby. That itself is a feeling that you have for your child, but then there is something going on in your world in that moment, that is keeping you disconnected for with your
Hmm.
baby. And this is exactly so, all the places where as mothers you can't speak about a certain part of you, you're unaware, like example, if you have a child and
Nirali, you there? So, like Nirali was saying, how mothers are truly supported, and these times actually ask for a platform like this, to even have such a platform where mothers can just join in and share their needs. So Nirali, I was just sharing that, how these present times actually ask for a platform like this where, mothers would be more open to share it with fellow mothers or with you, where, they know that this is confidential. At the same time, there's somebody who's listening to their needs and actually helping them transit smoothly through this new change and phase in their life.
Yes. The conversation, the sentence that I was saying before I got disconnected, that was that, many mothers are aware that what's going on, and they do not find, a way or a tool to support themselves. It's possible that, due to family's belief system, or, maybe because of lack of resources or knowledge, that, if there is there somebody who's going to help me with this. At the same time, many mothers are going through issues, but they don't know what's going on with them. All of these cases, how, in the Change Your Life program, you come up with a simple situation in your life that you've been dealing for many years, but now it's been too much for you, and the moment you ask the question and the clarity that you get, and then with that clarity, when you go on in your next situation dealing with it, you feel more stronger and clearer and confident about handling yourself. That same thing, that's something that we always thought that, this is something, this is how life is, and this is how pregnancy is. Maybe it's time for us in the modern times to change, how pregnancy can feel like, be like, and it need not be a very painful process, because as we know that this is any transition, any transition of life is bringing you a little challenge, but we need not go into the suffering of it. And baby blessing can totally help you to prevent the suffering. Like, many times, I have dealt with clients who are like, 50, 60 years of age, and they come with the physical health issues, and insomnia and excess thoughts, and or they are dealing with their menopause period. Now this is a time, while they're feeling like, crying all the time for no reason, and they feel I was such a strong woman, and why this is happening to me. And even when doctors say, I just doesn't feel right that I can't be this woman. Now, when we go into working with them session by session, this is where we ultimately come to realize that, there's so much of guilt, there's so much of, regret that's lying in their world because of the kind of parent they had been with the child. Like, in those moments you nagged, or you just, blurt out your stress on the child. And, ultimately towards the end, you feel maybe, I didn't have to do that, my child didn't deserve it. But then you don't know how to release that part from you.
Okay.
And maybe blessing, because it is a holistic program. Anything I do has to be holistic. It cannot just talk about one aspect, So it also helps you to feel lighter, and also prevent your futuristic health related issues. Like, at the age of 50 or 60, or during the time of menopause, you need not, have those regrets surfacing in form of, emotions or crying, or those, extreme hormonal changes, because we did not allow those things to accumulate in our subconscious, in our world. So, one single thing, if chosen with awareness on the right time, can prevent so many things. But also just imagine the journey that you could have as family together, growing together, because this is all about growing.
That's so true. And
growing
I
together as family.
Even if I come up with questions, I may not, completely do justice to what a mother feels like, in her case, because like you always emphasize that every individual is unique and each has a unique experience. So it would be great for mothers to, directly interact with you and actually share whatever they have to and experience what baby blessing feels like, because like you say, everything, it's less about words with you and more about experience. And until one
Yeah.
experiences, they don't know how empowering or beautiful it can actually be in their life.
Yeah. And then there's so many things that we haven't yet talked about. So I hope that, in the coming lives, this areas will be covered to, give viewers or any parent who come across this video, who's meant to, somewhere find this video, gets their worlds get enlightened. But,
And
for this reason, on 23rd of February, I am coming up with an event, in introduction to, what this baby blessing is about, where, we're going to be doing, interaction live with me. So it's not going to be a pre-recorded thing. And we're also going to go into an experiential session of what it's going to feel like. And this is going to be exclusive, like, many times I do meditations or, our personal sessions and all of that. I do deal with, such issues, but this is going to be exclusively dedicated to, new moms, to be moms, the moms, who are going through pre or post pregnancy, difficulties with self, with, being a mother, anything of that sort. Then, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to release and feel, relaxed together, with our children. So just spend time. The details of which is going to be given in the link, on my Facebook, on my Insta, on my LinkedIn profile, on YouTube as well. So, you may go and do register. And, this is like going to be a limited time thing. So I feel that, parents should take this opportunity and, enroll themselves to get the experience, the first experience of it. Because, it's like, when the entire country fought against, the COVID, is where, we were more stronger to fight against it. The same way, for any change to occur, when, the more people choosing that change, like, not one or two, more people intending strongly that, yes, this has to change, this has to be different, well, the change comes faster. So with that, I want to add this beautiful quote towards the end, and, then I would totally give the platform to you to, wrap up the session, because we kind of extended time. But, baby blessing is meant to give the mother and the child both that, they both are miracles. The mother is a creator and the child is a miracle itself. And we do not want the child to give away the miracle that it has come with, miraculousness that it has come with. So the mother and the child must know that he or she is a miracle, that since the beginning of the world, there hasn't been any miracle like them. And until the end of the world, there will not be any other child and the mother relationship like them. So, that's the, vibe, that's the energy, that's the harmony that, I'm looking forward to see through this baby blessing sessions occurring in those families and those, in those people's worlds.
That quote is so beautiful. And yeah, like I would just wrap up with a couple of points that uh, actually struck in my world, and why should one actually choose baby blessing. So like you said, I'm going from behind, and that mother is the creator, and baby, as I see, is a beautiful creation that when nurtured can do such miracles in the world, like you were saying. And we're always having conversations about having a better world, and this seems like the right place to actually thrive in this modern world. I just came into the understanding that modern world can be uncertain for us right now, but it doesn't have to be a suffering. Like people say, they go with the cliche Kalyug concept. So the way I see it here, that it doesn't have to be suffering. And then, when people can start early, then actually the true gifts can be nurtured. And I see a whole lot of generation that can bring such beautiful shifts and changes in the world. And also this thing that, pregnancy can have its own complications, but and that mother can feel like, everything is falling apart or it's not right, and it's okay to feel that, and it's okay to seek help. That there are platforms, and there is one platform like this right here right now, where they can come and interact with you and make their pregnancy experience a truly beautiful one. With that said, any mothers who would wish to interact with Nirali, there's definitely this event that's waiting up for you guys. And apart from that, we'll also be sharing a WhatsApp link where you can directly interact and know more about whatever your queries may be. And we'll be back with another live next week, same time, same place. But until then, if you have missed the first live, then do check in. It's talking about what baby blessings is all about. And you can definitely, if you feel this video has brought some insight in your world, or you think somebody in your circle could actually make use of it, then do share it with them.
With that, take care, have a great evening, and see you in the next live on Alchemy of Being YouTube channel. Take
Stay
care,
tuned
bye-bye.
and subscribe.